That's confident boosting for our guest.
It is.
He's like, you guys are real professional.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm gonna start the show.
You did.
You're
Yo.
Hey!
What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us on
Ryan,
another
you're not hosting.
4Nerds. I can't.
He always thinks he's hosting. What is up, you guys? Welcome to the 4Nerds Show. We are 4Nerds, and we're joined by our special guest, Cris Parker from 3C Film Review. What's going on, Cris?
Hey, man, doing good. How are you guys today? Thanks for having me on. It's been a while. It's like what? Been six months, I feel like, since I was on here.
Yeah, well, we couldn't have you back until you actually fixed your background. Now your background looks dope.
Yeah,
Thanks.
great, by the way.
Well,
Thank
yeah, dude, I love the lighting, the accent lighting. Looks really dope.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow, look at that.
And then the child just standing there like, what's up?
Yeah. looking away, too, like, you know.
Like, I want nothing to do with this.
It looks awesome, but it takes like 10 minutes to turn on all these lights.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
why you need a remote.
Yeah, I do.
Exactly.
I need some of those smart plugs. I just do it from my phone.
Now, Cris, this is a new location. Is that right? You moved to a new house or whatnot, and so now this is a brand new studio, and you had to leave the old one. I mean, was it sad leaving that studio? Like, okay, this is my last recording here.
No, I didn't get evicted. Thank goodness, man. No, it's so funny. It was just kind of like a spiritual thing because I moved into that apartment with my girlfriend, and we were broke collection workers, just making ends meet, living off paycheck to paycheck. And then in that apartment, I somehow became a YouTuber, and I outgrew it where I was like, we can afford a house now. So
wow,
it was sad to leave, but I'm so happy I'm finally out of there because it was a very sketchy apartment. I'd hear gunshots at night.
God.
Yeah,
I'd hold the shield.
Well, I mean, okay, was it New Year's or was it 4th of July? Because that happens in Texas.
No, it would happen randomly. It was horrible, and I'm 100% sure my neighbor was a drug dealer because people would accidentally knock on my door since our doors are right next to each other, and then when I'd open it, it was always a random person. They'd look at me and go, "Oh, sorry," and then they'd go to the next door.
Well, they're like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, I was only recording a video.
You got any more of those videos?
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about you guys? What's been going on with you guys the past y'all? Before I talk to y'all, Snyder Cut didn't come out. Now it's here. Please tell me everything is dandy with y'all.
Well, I got Darkseid right here, so everything's great.
Here, show him Darkseid. Show him Darkseid.
Okay, fine.
Don't knock him over. Be gentle.
Oh, whoa!
Look at that.
Yeah.
McFarlane.
The McFarlane. Yeah.
Yeah, they
make good toys.
They do. I have a bunch of these, but this is the Uxas. They just released the armored one today for pre-order. But my wife would kill me if I got an alternate version of a character I already have in a figure form. So
don't tell her.
So yeah, would you ship it to your parents' address and then pick it up?
My mom would probably tell her. My mom would probably tell her, if I'm being honest. And then my wife would kill me.
She'd be like, "What did you order?"
Yeah, right. What is this charge?
But no, I mean, we're ecstatic that this movie came out. I mean, I loved it. We all loved the movie. Cris,
I did too. I loved it. I thought it was great. And I was not that I was a skeptic. I was never one of those that it didn't exist or anything like that. But I didn't know how different it was going to be. It was a completely different movie.
Yeah.
Full 180 turn. I loved it a lot. Like I remember, and this is like how I measured grading things. I never bought the Justice League Funko Pops, and I'm a big Funko Pop collector just because I was disappointed with the 2016 version. After seeing Zack Snyder's, I went ahead and ordered them. So I got my metallic Darkseid coming in the mail, the black suit Superman.
Wow.
I can't wait.
Dude,
I do
nice.
have those on the way as well.
It's pretty dope. And then also in the wake of the release, we also got this bad boy, which is like the IMAX version.
Let me blow you up there.
Oh, right here,
there it is. Yeah, the IMAX
version of it, and it's pretty dope, man. It's pretty dope. And he just released, was able to release the 4K version of Zack Snyder's Justice League on Amazon pre-order.
Boom.
I'm gonna get the trilogy pack.
Well, not sold out, but
that's what I got.
One.
Yeah,
the box set looks great because it has those covers. It has the character posters, and it also has that poster of the anti-life equation, which I'm just like, dude, let's go.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Yeah.
What's up, DC Talk?
What's up, y'all?
Yeah.
So everybody's here in the chat, and guys, smash the like button and make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you guys can, let everybody know we're live. We got Cris Parker of 3C Film Review, dude. I tell you, Cris puts out a video like almost it feels like once or twice a day, but the quality you do it's so
Thanks,
good.
man.
I'm like, dude, how does he do this? I mean, like your opening bits are getting better and better and better.
It's a curse. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, because now you have to do it, right?
Yeah,
now
I have. Sometimes I just can't think of it, and there's like breaking news where it's like, oh, you got to be one of the first people out there, or else you're. And all that, and so I'll be stuck here sitting like, what's funny? What can I do? What? And sometimes I'll be like, all right, I'll just have to not post one, and I'll get 50 comments right away. No intro? Where's the intro? What's going on? I put myself in a box there, but I do have fun making them, and thanks for saying that. So kind, man. But,
well, there's a bunch of them that they're just hilarious, and one in particular, and it was funny because Dawson's the one who brought it to my attention was when for Godzilla vs. Kong, when you were like, oh man, I've been waiting so long for this, and the image is like Kong's butt, whatever. He shows up as a grandmother or old lady. He comes in like, what? Oh man.
I had forgotten that I had shared that with you, Andre. You said that I shared with you. And I was like, "What are you talking about?"
You told me about it. You're like, "It was hilarious." I went and watched it.
Thanks,
man.
Stern look on your face. You're like, "Wait a minute." You did. You're like, "I didn't share shit with Andre."
I know, right? I don't do that. That's not my thing.
It's not that kind of friendship.
but Cris, I got a question though. It's like,
go ahead.
Because being a kind of newer homeowner myself, how did it feel becoming a homeowner?
It's a great experience. I honestly didn't think it because, only like 5 years ago, my channel was a success. I was a dropout of college. I didn't know what I was doing. So just like the fact to own a home is awesome, but also to get it this year, because I don't know if you guys have been hearing the market is like crazy. And so it was damn near impossible. I actually had to move a little farther than I wanted from family just because there was nothing I could. Just so many people from California coming to Texas and buying everything. And I
have a lot of coworkers who are leaving California going to Texas of all places. I'm like, oh, all right. I was just there.
He was like, he was like, hey,
are you?
Meanwhile, I'm stuck in Virginia and not able to go back home to Texas. That sucks.
Yeah, Dawson lives on a compound in Virginia.
Okay.
No, you saying
that's
you
the
were
one from California.
No, you were saying he lives in a small town. That's all.
Yeah, I do live out in the boonies. That is definitely true.
So, Cris, a lot of movies have come out that I've been meaning to ask you about, and I know a lot of us want to know how you feel about them. So, one of them, which is probably the most recent one that came out, was I don't know if you've seen it or not. It's Fast 9. Have you had a chance to see it? And out of all the Fast movies, where does this one rank amongst the 9?
It's always hard to do the ranking off the top of my head, especially with like 9 movies, but for sure the 9th one is like in the bottom 3 to me. It's that
bad, huh?
It was that disappointing. I don't know if you guys, how many of y'all have seen it, but
I've never seen a single Fast and Furious movie.
That's not...
I've been meaning to watch the first one for a bit and making a video so that people can mock me for not ever seeing it, but
I was never that big of a fan, and then Fast 5 like just did some of the franchise, but I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I
Fast
like what
5 was good. I like that one a lot. And
I was even surprised. I didn't love Hobbs and Shaw. I thought it was kind of and
that's where it ended.
That's where it ended.
Yeah. So, but Fast 9 is just, it's too ridiculous. Like, there's like each Fast and Furious movie has like maybe 1 or 2 scenes where it's like, that's not logical. The physics doesn't work that way. But every action scene in Fast 9 was that way. And they're bringing characters back to life, and
that's
Yeah, what is up with that?
I saw a clip of Fast 9 where like they had this like wire shot out of the car and they like slammed into a cliffside and neither of the people in the car are damaged or cut at all. It's like you slammed into a cliffside with a car.
And Vin Diesel's shirt is always white. No matter what happens, his shirt remains as white as possible.
It's very, very true. Vin Diesel's just like, I just got the shirt dry cleaned. If it gets touched or dirty at all, I'm suing. And they're like, okay, fine. This guy was Riddick after all. We don't want to make him mad.
Exactly. Now, another film that came out not too long ago that I know most of us have seen. Unfortunately, this guy has not seen because he doesn't like horror movies.
Yeah, I don't
what? Big guy like you? What?
I know he's scared of horror movies and he's scared of roller coasters.
I watch zombie movies all day, but
I'll tell you what, the
weird ones, like show the picture, Andre.
Luca?
No,
Luca.
It's a cute movie, actually.
He's like, it's a sea monster.
I'll present it first. So, Chris, the movie that I wanted to ask about was The Conjuring, Part 3. The Devil Made Me Do It. It had some pretty freaky moments in the movie. Oh God!
Dawson?
Yeah, that was Dawson's cameo. That's actually the expression when Dawson found out that the Snyder Cut was getting released. He was like, "Come back to bed." But what did you think of The Conjuring? Because I know a lot of us saw it. Dawson, I believe you saw it as well, right?
Yes, I did.
And I actually liked it. I mean, look, it's a little bit. It is what it is. But overall, though, I thought the story was pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was fine. I don't think it compared to like the first two. I really like what James Wan did there. I guess I was just expecting to get more like Law and Order meets Conjuring. Like there's going to be some sort of court stuff going on, but instead it became something else. I did get intrigued with the mystery. I just, at the end of the day, was just fine.
Yeah. I like the fact they tried to change it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The idea of like what a Conjuring movie could be instead of like, I forget the couple's names, against some like demon or thing. That's
they're
people.
always like a haunted house. It's always a haunted house.
It's always a demon, some kind of ghost, some kind of haunted house. But this one, like they actually had a physical threat, which is just like, okay, this is refreshing.
Yeah. Yeah, because I did like the idea behind it. I don't want to spoil too much for people who haven't seen it, but there was like, there's a satanic cult behind that and all the history behind. I was like, oh, that's kind You
It's okay. I just put the alert up. So spoiler alert.
Oh, okay.
We can go with that one too. That one moves. So go ahead. This is a spoiler.
I'm happy for you that it moves, Andre.
I'm very happy that it moves.
Is that a logo? What is that?
No, I mean,
I can go that one.
More.
No, it was just cool how like so they're trying to figure out who put a curse on this family. They go to like a satanic specialist, then you find out like, well, he's been studying, satanic cults all his life, and he had a daughter who also was fascinated by his dad's work, but she got too into it and then started, experimenting with it and doing crazy stuff. I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool story.
I thought the only cool aspect of that was the little totems that they made. So I thought that was cool. Yeah,
I did really like the line where the father, who was again the priest who researched a lot into the cults, said basically, like, be careful what obsessions you pass on to your children.
Yeah,
I think like even just outside of the movie, that's just a good lesson in general. Like, just be careful what things you focus on in your life that you pass on to your kids. It might affect them in a way that isn't positive.
And this is a good point too that Jacob Lee points out, is that he thought it was interesting that there was a human villain in this movie, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
He liked the third one, and Carlos liked the first.
I like the second one the best.
You think the second one had the
terrifying.
ending? Yeah, the ending was really scary with the nun, as the bad guy. It was freaky as hell.
Andre's reaction to that movie was just like,
pretty much, man. No, but.
That is getting clipped just so you fucking.
Yeah,
I had to embody my inner Andre to do that.
You really did.
Oh my God. We're not going to use it for that, though.
I'm sure he will.
But it had some cool like connections. I mean, like even with this shot here, it reminded me of like The Exorcist.
That was intentional. Yeah,
that was intentional. Yeah,
and also the silhouette that was also intentional from the Psycho. So,
yeah.
That was another thing about the movie that I liked was a lot of the cinematography. Like a lot of the establishing shots were really good in that movie.
Yeah.
Like I really liked those.
Yeah.
They really honed in on their craft.
Where's my Crooked Man
Steve.
spin-off film? I
Yeah,
don't know.
people have been asking for that one.
Anthony is so scared right now.
Actually,
Sorry,
at first I thought that was Anthony screaming. So.
But no,
Yeah.
it was really good, and I enjoyed it. I got to watch it on HBO Max, and no, I thought it was good. I wasn't sure what to expect because it's a horror movie. It might be kind of corny. I'm not sure, but overall, it was pretty good. I mean, I wouldn't say it's my favorite, horror movie, but it was entertaining, and I enjoyed it. Anthony, you should check it out, man.
Yeah, it wasn't really scary.
Yeah, I'm not a huge horror movie guy, but it didn't really scare me.
Probably won't. I think I saw the first one though. The first Conjuring, I think I saw it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't it doesn't scare me, all right? It's just freaky, and I'm like,
Or are you're someone who doesn't play with like that kind of stuff? Because that's how my girlfriend is. She's like, does not want to watch any Conjuring movies because she's like, you don't mess with that stuff.
That's my wife. Yeah, she's not. My wife literally like had a hard time sleeping for 3 days after we saw the second Quiet Place movie.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, she's
really?
she's that bad with
Quiet Place
suspenseful
is
stuff.
fire, dude.
Oh,
Like,
it was. It was.
Oh,
I'm good with
it's
that.
really
That's
good.
how bad she is with suspenseful stuff, like especially with horror. Like she just can't deal with it.
Wow.
Well, Chris, let me ask you about that one.
My
What
wife-
did you think
my wife
about
came to our
Quiet
room.
Place 2?
My wife came to my studio saying, "Because I have vivid dreams."
She just did right now.
Yeah.
I thought I heard somebody.
Yep.
So about the Quiet Place 2, I mean, Chris, what was
Awesome.
your take on that?
I really liked it. That was the movie I was supposed to see. Like I was one day away, and then they shut down cinemas. I had a screening and everything. It was
man.
crazy. So I had to wait an entire year basically to see it. But it was awesome. I thought they did a good job with it. I thought it was just as good as the first. Don't really have any complaints for it. The only thing is like I feel like it just ends too quickly. It's like I feel like they barely scratched the surface of that world. Like I wanted to know more about some of those like messed up people in there. Go ahead.
Yeah. Now that you said both of the movies end too quickly, in my opinion, it seems like both movies are fire, by the way. So they get to this building point, especially at the end of the first one, when she's just like, I'm like, keep going. Though, we're going to stop the movie. And then obviously they didn't know they were going to make a second one because they didn't know how successful it was going to be. So now, if you're Krasinski, if you're watching the third one, 5 hours long. I won't accept
5 hours. 5 hours.
I won't accept anything less than 5 hours.
Krasinski cut.
Yeah,
The
the
Krasinski
Krasinski
cut.
cut. Yes.
I tell you what, though, after that movie, my wife and I developed a theory about the creatures. Right,
Mhm.
so you want to put the spoiler thing back up in the corner because I'm going to
Oh
mention
yeah, we're gonna
small
talk
things.
Yeah, it's all spoilers right now.
So, my wife and I have a theory about the creatures because throughout these two movies, we don't see them eat humans; we just see them kill them. Right?
Mhm.
We only see them kill them and like stab them and then run away. That's literally it.
Yeah.
And in the second movie, we see a giant meteor crashing onto Earth, and then they appear. Right? So what my wife and I are thinking is that these creatures simply lived on meteors in space, which of course is a vacuum and there's no sound, right? So their sensitive, I guess, ears, whatever you want to call them, would not be affected by anything out there. But now that they're on Earth, in a place where there is a ton of sound everywhere, they're extremely irritated to the point that anything that makes sound, they have to hunt down and kill to get rid of. It's like if a human sees a bug, one of the main instincts is to simply just swat at it because it bothers them. I think it's the same thing with these creatures.
It could it could be. I always felt that maybe another alien race dropped them here just to wipe us out, and then they're going to come in, like shoot them from the sky, like, all right, there you go, let's go. That was easy.
I hope you know I'm going to clip that for a video of mine, by the way.
No, we got our clip of you for this episode.
Yeah. Thank you. It was early.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's going to be
That's
Dawson's
why
next
his
video
wife came
coming
in
up.
to check on him. She heard him from the other room. She's like, "You okay?"
Yeah. So Chris, man, what do you think about like the opening of A Quiet Place 2? Like that, the intro where it's like
man.
day one.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's a specific thing that you were talking about, but like one thing happens to a little kid where he steps on something. I was not expecting that to happen, and I just like lost my mind. I was cringing in my seat. I yelled like I didn't think they would do. And the movie's PG-13. It's not rated R, so
Yeah.
I felt like they got away with that. But that was a good opening.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Big time.
Are you done with the bear claw?
Yeah,
Bear trap.
Bear claw. I had bear claw. Bear claw is great.
No, I was-
Bear claw was delicious.
I'm hungry. I'll be right back.
I was more so talking about the day one part where it said day.
Oh,
in the
you're
town,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
the
Yeah,
intro
that's what you
just
meant.
from the movie
like
until it got
T-ball
to
game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind if that's the third movie, because I mean, there's a lot of time that passes from like the first Quiet Place from when the event started to like, because when we see them in the first movie, they already have like the sand trail, they have all this stuff built up. It'd be cool to see them go through that survival. I just want John Krasinski back.
Learn as you go. Yeah.
And we know nothing about Lee, John Krasinski's character. Like, how does he end up with all those monitors? How does he end up with all that radio equipment? Did he work for the government? Like, what did he do where he acquired all that equipment?
Because in the second movie, they also talk him up. Like the other male characters, like I'm not your dad or whatever. So like it makes it sound like I was so highly praised.
Yeah.
Let's just all watch and see that this is some like sequel to what's the Tom Clancy or the series that John Krasinski did?
Oh, Jack Ryan.
It's a sequel to Jack Ryan.
Yeah,
Jack Ryan changed his name to Lee. And he's in A Quiet Place.
Yeah. But you know, I did want to bring up though, like as much as I love the movie, I'm sorry, but like the kid with the curly hair, her son, I wanted to slap that kid the entire time. I was like, dude, what are you doing right now?
Yes.
When he comes out and he's trying to find his mom, I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like, stay in the hole.
That's the thing. I mean,
that's not as frustrating as that one kid from that the show with the horns, Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth.
That little kid, I was like, you fucking deserve to die. Like, you're doing every fucking thing wrong. And like you don't listen, you hard-headed little shit.
Ryan Zeeverfett.
This man,
that little shit pissed me off. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I was like, "You went to fact, Jack. You went against everything your dad taught you." Like
this man has kids, and that's terrifying.
I'd have beat his ass. I would have grabbed him by his antlers. And I would have whooped the shit out of him.
Oh my god!
Okay, so back to A Quiet Place 2. The kid just kept making mistake after mistake. Now look, the bear trap wasn't his fault, but
his fault.
I like when he was screaming, like it's like I don't know.
You could feel that. You feel it.
You could feel it, but having children, like that helpless feeling of like trying to like make him stop, but you know, like there's no way he's gonna not. There's no way he's gonna be quiet. Oh god,
that's one of my favorite parts because just because the audience, we know how important it is for him to shut the fuck up. Because it hurt, you know what I'm saying? Because it hurt. So like,
and I can excuse that, right? Because for that kid's situation. But the Sweet Tooth kid, like I can't.
Enough with the Sweet
Tooth kid. Next episode of the Zeeverfett show is all about Sweet Tooth, y'all.
All about Sweet Tooth.
It's gonna be nailed. It's gonna be scary.
Ryan being like, "I'm gonna kill this freaking kid."
I mean. Golly, dude! I'm
not caught up. I hadn't finished it.
So I haven't finished it. I'm still watching it.
I like it. I saw the whole thing.
I dig the show. It's just that little kid. Just every it's not the kid's fault. It's narrative. Whoever wrote the shit. Oh, it pisses me off.
It's a graphic novel. Really? It's Kirkman, the guy who wrote The Walking Dead.
Going back to A Quiet Place 2.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So I tell you, there's, and I've said it before on my show. I know for sure. There's two things that like I almost stopped watching the first movie before it even got 5 minutes in because I was just like, movie's fire though. I think it's fire. Once I got it, I watched it. This Ryan's like someone. Yeah. The second one didn't have any of these problems for me. First of all,
because you knew what to expect.
Yeah, to a certain extent, but the first of all, I started the movie, right, the first one, and I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it at home first time I watched it, and I was just like, why do you need to take your entire family to town for a supply run? You don't.
This is a great point.
You do not.
Although,
they all went.
Well,
I know, but they all. That's why you got a backpack, you know.
Yeah, Well, here's the one thing, and this may be just because I was in the military or whatever. When you are walking in a single file line, why gonna rip out those antlers? Shut him
up his eyes.
Wow.
That's morbid.
Jacob Ludi, calm down. All right, go ahead.
When you're walking like that, why on earth is the weakest member of the entire group in the back?
Yeah, exactly. He should be in the middle. He should, right?
It should have been Krasinski should have been first. The what's her name? Emily Blunt should have been last with all the kids in the middle. And that drove me insane. And then I was like, okay, let me finish this movie. The movie ended up being fire. That it doesn't bother me anymore, but it used to. Like when I first couple times I watched, I was like, oh, what are you doing? But the second movie had none of those moments for me. They all were fucking. It was great from start to finish. Like when the movie was done, when the screen went black, I was like, oh shit, that was fire, dude. It was really good.
It was really good, but I mean, like, okay, like I said, guys, spoiler alert. There is a spoiler sign up in the corner, but at the end, when they get to the island, they actually bring the fucking monster with them. And so, like, all these people who are like living a nice life, they're all being attacked. Like, I was just like, oh man, look what you guys did! You ruined this. I was like, thanks a lot. And then the guy from Guardians of the Galaxy was like, I gotta save my kids. Yeah, I was like, dude, what are you doing right now? Like, obviously the thing's outside. Why are you trying to get back to the town with your car?
As soon as he opened that
was the dumbest part. That was the only part I did not agree with.
As soon as he opened the garage and let them go in, and then they turned to look back at him, I was like, he's about to die.
Yeah. I was like, he's gonna die.
I do have to say, that guy did not appear in Blood Diamond to just be referred to as the guy who appeared in Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm sorry. Blood Diamond's a great movie. That guy was great in it.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. It is very good. And he was in Shazam.
Swines.
Yeah.
But if there was one thing that you liked the most about A Quiet Place 2, Cris, what was it?
I just like how creative they got with it, because like in the first movie, by the end of it, they give you a way to kill the monsters. So you think they're gonna use that as much as possible, but like there's like parts where Emily Blunt had to use like the oxygen tanks and blow it up to try and kill the beast, and they added that element about like no oxygen in like this one tank, and the kid's stuck in there, and like he's like having to share oxygen with his like little baby brother. I'm like, oh, that's really cute, and I just like how creative they got with it.
Lack of oxygen is cute.
Sorry. Well, just the fact that he's willing to sacrifice his life for the brother.
I know.
Well, like when he was up there looking for his mom, and the whole time I'm just like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Right? Like, get back in the hole, and then
get in your hole.
And then when he's making all kinds of noises, right? He's knocking things over and everything. I'm like, come on, man. And then he finally gets back. And then he goes into that the furnace or the oven or whatever, and he doesn't put the towel there, and it closes. I was like, oh my god, dude! Like, come on, it's like a double whammy.
Yeah,
I'm like, if this kid wasn't around, everything would be going kind of smooth right now. But but at the end, he'd
be better without the kid.
They'd be better off without him.
Man,
serve
two
him up.
Heartless guys on the panel.
Right?
Goodness.
I just wanted to make that known. It's not just.
And then I'm sorry, but like if I'm living in this world, right, and I'm on the docks and I see a child or person like balled up in the corner at the edge of a dock, I wouldn't be like, let's go check on them. Hello? Yeah, I'd be like, what's that? I don't know. Get in the boat.
Clearly, none of them ever played Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, or any kind of game.
Yeah.
But I did like how they showed some people that are still around the world, and it's like you said, the people aren't worth saving, but then you find out that there are good people still left in this world, and then they helped kill some of them too, because when the monster came, it was like, just like tearing everybody up. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah,
yes, that's what they do. They kill people. Yes.
But the hard part is that they have this island, right? And they're, people can, if they can make it there, then they can, live there. But if you watch The Walking Dead, inviting anybody to your sanctuary, it always ends up going sideways.
Always,
people want to take over. So it's kind of like, oh man.
In any post-apocalyptic anything, the worst thing isn't what
Thanks,
made
John Diaz.
No cussing, I'll tell you. The worst thing isn't what made the world post-apocalyptic. It's the people who are still there. Always. Yeah. It doesn't matter because people are trash. in all of those universes, the people they're the worst, man. So but that scene with the oxygen and the thing was like, that was a good scene. I like it.
Yeah, well done suspense.
Well, yes. And then when what is it? When the girl wakes up and the little girl when she wakes up and she thinks the guy left her and like took she took all her stuff. Yeah, I was like, oh my god, he did not just do this. And then he comes back and like, I'm here. It's like, oh god.
That hurts. Her little stint on the train too was fire. That little scene on the train.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
She was very much the unsung hero. Well, I guess not the unsung, but like the hero of the movie. She did a really great job.
Yeah. No, she really did. No, and it was a good movie. I really enjoyed it. And I can't wait for a third one.
Yeah.
But I actually want it to be a continuation of the story because now it's like I want to see does humanity end up killing these damn things? Yeah, something because it's like, dude, you can't. I don't know, like a helicopter can't kill these things in the air, like I mean,
that is a sound some helicopters make. Yes. Yeah.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. So another movie that I wanted to ask you about was one that we were all very big fans of, which was Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead. Did you get a chance to see this movie? Yes. And what did you think about it?
Also, I went to the theaters to go see it. I was given a screener link, but I'd rather see it in the theater and all that. I'm happy I did. I ended up really liking the movie. I thought he did a good job with these zombies. I thought there's also some great lore in there. I like what he was trying to do with these zombies instead of just making them all dull and whatnot like they've been lately. Like having them smart and whatnot, and like trying to figure out what is happening because there's been like theories that there's like a time loop or there's something else going on. I thought it was a good movie.
Yeah,
it gives you a lot to feast on and to theorize over for a while. That's just kind of the formula for Zack Snyder in general. He gives you a lot to mull over, a lot to think about, and that's the reason why movies like Batman v Superman are still talked about today because there's just a lot to talk about.
Yeah, and
I mean, go ahead. Oh, go ahead. What'd you think of the tiger?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a cool tiger.
No, it was badass. It's what was the tiger's name?
Valentine.
Valentine. Yeah, it's a great name too. I was like, oh, perfect.
Yeah.
And the zombies just look really creepy. I was like,
Andre always wanted a tiger named Valentine. He always wanted
it's more like I always wanted a Valentine. I never.
He wanted a Valentine named Tiger.
That's silence.
Straight silence. But no, I thought it was really good, and we all enjoyed it, and myself, Anthony, actually all four of us got to see it in theater.
Which I saw the photo. You guys were in Texas when y'all saw it, didn't you?
Yeah.
Chris just like, why didn't you invite me?
No, they did.
We did.
I was in the middle of moving. The week they came is right when I was.
We did. He was like, no, it's not gonna happen, guys. No.
Like, stop asking.
He gave us his address and we showed
up.
He's like,
I'll stream with y'all.
Oh yeah.
But we're not gonna get a drink.
Yeah, exactly. No, he gave us his address and we showed up, but it was the house that he moved out of. So we were like,
we saw the crack house and we're like, hey, is Chris here? We know a lot of your customers go in and see him. So.
He's like, the guy was like, who the hell is that? The guy who lives across the way. No, he's gone. Okay.
Chris,
the YouTube guy?
Yeah, the YouTube guy. Hey, he's got some fire videos.
We watch it every time we get
Oh wow, that's got to be cool.
Wow.
We did see it in Houston. And here's the name. Oh, Alfred was there too.
Wait a minute.
What's the story behind that?
I've been asking that same question and have yet to get an answer.
He's everywhere. He was in everywhere. The UK. He was just this guy is look, there he is.
But so he took these selfies with
that's
one.
That's
a real picture. Yeah, that's a real picture.
Oh, this one's the real one.
That's the real one. Yeah.
So he took a selfie with Keaton in the background, and then one with Ezra Miller. Yeah, I just put him everywhere.
Yeah.
And so and then we just had a little fun with it. That's all.
That's something I want to talk with you guys about.
I was going to ask
Flash stuff, man.
Yeah,
I think we have some differing opinions and stuff, and I'd definitely love to get into some of that.
I first want to get your opinion on this because I know you've kind of talked about this a little bit. But yesterday, there was, of course, that leaked clip that featured some concept art and everything, and you actually made a TikTok video discussing it. So I kind of want to get your take on all what happened yesterday because that was just crazy. Because I know I have a couple of friends on YouTube who got copyright strikes for talking about that.
Well, maybe you didn't see. I did make a YouTube video, but after an hour and 30 minutes in, it got taken down. And then out of spite, I was like, well, I'll make a TikTok. And then this morning, I got an email saying it's been taken down.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So do you still have the footage?
Of course not. Okay. Why would I keep that?
Yeah, no.
Who has
because
that?
there's actually a little bit in there where the sound is missing.
Yes, that's also the weird part. So the thing that I've been hearing is that it was a Warner Bros. Employee who was upset that either they just got fired or they just wanted to stick it to their boss, I guess, and leak this online for everybody anonymously. But he was still careful enough to like add in a little spoiler, like watermarks.
So he wouldn't get totally sued.
I guess so. And he also muted part of the audio that was talking about some character in the movie. But
no, it was right before they said
Justice League.
So,
yeah,
and it was the music and Andy talking got muted right there, and it was enough for you to say Zack Snyder's Justice League.
But it just says mute Justice League. Yeah. And then he continues to talk. Like I noticed that when I saw it, because I was at work, it came out, it was immediately gone. And then I started seeing people get like straight clapped for it.
Yeah.
Like, so that's what I was asking. If yours got clapped, if yours got struck, because it's out there. You know, I mean, and they're not taking it, you know, they can't strike everybody, you know, still. So I'm wondering if the leaked footage that's out there now is an edit of what was originally leaked. So I was just curious, is like, you know, what did your version have that the versions that are out there now that are still available that you can still watch and listen to? What does yours have that those don't?
I think honestly, those that are still up right now is like you said, there's just so many out there. It's hard because every time they want to do that, it's not like one button they push and it wipes it all off the internet. They have to individually make a, you know,
Oh no, I'm very familiar with Warner Brothers Incorporated DCMA or DMCA.
I honestly, what it is that this was supposed to be the footage we were going to get at DC Fandom this year. Yeah. That's what it was going to be. It was I don't think they were going to show us a trailer or a teaser. Maybe they will. But I think they were going to do like what Black Adam did, where it's concept art, them talking about the project.
They did that though at last Fandom.
But now you're seeing more concept art and more that applies to the story. So
yeah, and I think what I was actually muted and the character that was spotted away is an unannounced casting choice yet. That it's somebody in the movie that they haven't publicly announced, but will be public by DC Fandom, and that's why it's part of it. I don't think it's like a huge spoiler that ruins the movie because. Why else would they make that for the public then?
Right.
Well, and then there was the image where, and like we can talk about it, but we can't show it. Let's show it real quick. Actually, I can't. I can't show it because then you won't be able to stream. I can't. Yeah, I can't even show the images of it. But there's an image where you see Sasha Calle as Supergirl in the air, kind of like like getting ready to strike, and you see Batman, somebody else. And the Flash all standing there. But if you look closely enough, it looks as though the character that's being blocked is holding a shield.
Yeah. Some people are saying that it's a version of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
That would kind of make sense because Wonder Woman is in the Flashpoint Paradox. And in that same concept art, it looks like they are doing their own spin on it because Sasha Calle is going to play the role of Superman where, you know, he gets abducted by the government and he's hid away so he can't use his power. So I think that's going to be Supergirl's origin in the movie, whether she is connected to like a Henry Cavill of her universe or something. But so with that, I think that will be Wonder Woman because you're right. I saw like a sword and shield, but
I mean, we already have the bus.
Yeah, so we know it has to be Gal.
Stupid ass bus that has her freaking face on.
Unless if at the end, if let's say the Flash uses the Speed Force and tries to fix everything. And when it comes out at the end, that's what you see her on the bus to let you know, like, oh, okay, so she's
back. Yeah,
she's back, and it could be something like that. I don't know, but I definitely saw a shield. But then there was two other images that had the little sign in front of it as well. And you know the thing too is that they might have a trailer that they were going to show at DC Fandom, and then later after the trailer when they show this, then it's not so much of a like, oh my god, because you're like, oh yeah. Okay, I kind of saw all this. Or they mentioned the trailer. So that could have been the case as well. But one question I had for all you guys was that, do you think that Supergirl, Sasha Calle's Supergirl, do you think that in this reality, in this world, that instead of Cal crashing down to Earth, it was a female, a girl version of Cal, maybe with the same name, probably with a different name, or do you think that she's somebody else entirely?
Well, the vibe that I got from the image of her, like kind of curled up, kind of looking like Flashpoint Superman in a sense, gave me the feel of Flashpoint Superman as well as Supergirl from Superman Batman, where Kara Zor-El crashes on Earth in a pod, and Kal-El finds her, and she's trained by Wonder Woman and everything. I kind of got similar vibes to that. So they might be meshing those storylines together to where like maybe it's either, I believe it's Kal-El or Laura L or something, or Laura Kent or something along those lines, to where like it's some weird shenanigans to where she ends up crashing on Earth instead. Because like if that's the case, then it probably can't be Laura Kent. It would have to be an L or straight up Kryptonian, which is not derived from a specific Superman. So that kind of begs the question: is it that Sir Kal-El, how you pronounce that frickin' thing, or they create a new version of Supergirl entirely for this movie, which would be interesting. It would probably piss off a lot of fans, for sure. But who knows?
Well, but that's the thing, though, is that I feel like when it comes to Warner Bros. At this point, I feel like what they're going to do is they're going to establish that this is a new continuity. This is a different universe that he's created somehow, some way. I don't think it's going to be a continuation from Justice League. I think something has to happen in order to initiate this universe.
But I think keep in mind that like Kiersey Clemons, she wasn't in Justice League, and yet she's in this movie.
Exactly. True. Exactly. But you have Michael Keaton as Batman, so it could be that they're
he wasn't in Justice League either.
He wasn't in there either. But
very perceptive view.
No shit.
But it could be that they're in the Burtonverse, and that's where it's taking place, or it could just be a universe that has Michael Keaton. It has that
the Burtonverse. It'd be in a closed set, very claustrophobic.
But that's what I'm saying. So
shit everywhere.
I think that in this universe, it just so happens that the Batman that exists is the same Batman is the Keaton Batman. That's just the Batman who exists. But I think it has to be a continuation of the character we saw in Batman 89 and Batman Returns in order to kind of bring in that whole story together. But I think that they're going to establish that either instead of Cal crashing, it was Sasha Calle, right? Whatever her name is going to be in this movie. Yeah. Either that or the open pod that we keep seeing. And I think Dawson touched on this yesterday in our conversation, was that she's the one that they found, like maybe trapped in ice or whatever, and Cal's Superman never actually crash landed on Earth. What if that never happened in this timeline? And instead, they found her, who was buried in the ice for millions, thousands of years, and then they have her in there trapped in the cell as they study, that they're studying her. And let's say maybe even in this world that he never crashed, he never showed up. Yeah. So it could go a lot of different directions, but they're definitely taking from the Flashpoint story about having that the Superman that hasn't, or super Kryptonian. Yeah. Excuse me.
Holy cow. What do you think about that, Chris? I'd like to get your take.
Well, I'm more confused because I saw some people like Grace Randolph, who it's always hard whether you can trust what she says or not, where she was saying that she heard by the end of the movie, Supergirl and Michael Keaton will be part of Barry's main universe, and that's where they'll stay. And that just doesn't make sense to me why Michael Keaton's Batman would leave his universe, his Gotham, the city he swore, for a completely different universe. I would kind of understand why Supergirl would do that, because it's like, well, this world hates me. They locked me away. They treated me like crap. Right. I'd rather go somewhere else where there is a Superman and he's worshipped and loved, so maybe they'll love me too. So it makes sense for Supergirl, but like for Michael Keaton, I'm like, I think he needs to stay in his world.
The concept that you bring up is right behind you. That the hoverboard in Back to the Future, the world changes around them, right? So that could be like Michael Keaton doesn't have an option of going back to the Burtonverse, and neither does Sasha. The only one that can move through these different universes is Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
And
I swear, if they make if rumors are true that they make Michael Keaton some sort of like Nick Fury for the DCEU, I will riot. I hate that idea with a passion.
He won't have an eye patch.
Yeah, he won't have an eye patch. He'll be in a mentor role.
I will be infuriated. I love Michael Keaton's Batman. Don't get me wrong. I love his Batman for its time. But the idea of him being this mentor to like Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, to Ezra Miller's Flash, to Jason Momoa's Aquaman does not flow with me.
He's 70 years old this year.
Yeah.
And there's no way for him to. There's no future.
You can't have a continuation of a 70-year-old Batman.
It's awesome to see him in this movie.
Yes.
And it would be cool to see him maybe in another one or whatever, in a smaller capacity or whatever. But like, he's just 70 fucking years old. You can't do much with him.
Well, and what a lot of people are saying is like, but you can do like Batman Beyond. It's like, yeah, but you can't have Batman Beyond at the same time as Wonder Woman, Superman, the Flash, all in their prime. Like that just doesn't work.
That's why I hope he stays in his universe, because you could say his universe is
like he says a farewell
futuristic or and that way it makes more sense. Where it's like, oh, this is a future Gotham Burton world, and it would make sense because you're right. I don't know if I want to see him interact with like Gal Gadot and Aquaman. All that just doesn't seem to fit well. Like I'll excuse the Barry Allen thing because he's like traveling through the multiverse, But
it's the same thing with Sasha's character. Her character's young 20s. So and Cavill is in his mid 30s, late 30s. The timeline. Her Superman and his Batman. There's just such a large age gap that they can't really interact like Batman and Superman can usually interact. Like Batman, Batfleck and Henry Cavill, they're closer in age. And and it just makes sense that they have some rapport,
Well, yeah, and they've also been saying that this Flash movie is the key for how Warner Brothers wants to do the rest of their movies. And I feel like we've already been seeing hints of like what they mean by that, because they're going to do the Black Superman, which I gotta believe he's in his own universe, and there's going to be like a scene of the Flash where he looks at a portal and there's like thousands of Earths, and
if it gets even made, like I highly doubt it even gets made. Honestly.
That just seems like they're throwing darts at the wall.
It does seem to not make sense. We have Henry Cavill right there ready to make a movie.
Not just Henry, but they're not even looking at like Calvin Ellis or Val Zod. They're saying no, we're gonna make him Clark.
It's like
like what? That's stupid.
Yeah,
like don't develop new characters for people to sort of get to know. Because we've they're so rich in lore. Like the same thing with Blue Beetle, right? They're like, yeah, that's going to be real good on the small screen. They just have no desire to put Blue Beetle on the main screen, and that's rich with and he can have interaction with Batman.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it's an awesome character. Yeah, the Catwoman scratched his eye.
Catwoman scratched that eye.
He will be. I'm sorry, Dawson. We thank you, Gavin.
But see, like I don't know, I have a feeling that he's not going to go to like the Burton verse and then travel to another universe. I just don't think that's too much to happen in one movie.
Yeah.
I think that wherever he goes, whatever universe he's in, Keaton's going to be there, Kanye's going to be there, Kanye's going to be there. Like they're all going to be in the same world, and then he has to kind of figure out like what to do, and
Yeah. My dream scenario for those images we saw, where it's supposedly the final or end of the movie, is that Ezra Miller gets back on his world, and Michael Keaton's Batman is like permitted to stay there for a brief period of time, and says his goodbye, says his farewell, basically says like thank you for like something yada yada, and then goes back to his own world. Like that'd make me delighted. I'd be like, yes, that works. It makes sense.
It would make a lot of sense, because why? Here's my thing: is that why would they stay with Ezra Miller? They could have easily just recasted him,
right,
and rebooted their whole DCEU.
They have Pattinson's Batman. They could have cast a Flash that could interact also with Keaton, and they could have had it to where it's Pattinson's Flash. And whoever they cast, like care less who, but as Pattinson's Flash, and they can interact possibly, maybe in the future or whatever. But Ezra Miller, let's leave that universe behind. we'll continue with Gal, we'll continue with Jason. We'll do their films because they were hella popular. We don't really have to do too much with Ezra. We can just leave him with the Fantastic Beasts. But because they're saying, now we're going to use him, that just shows that they're still holding on to that. And yeah, they're still holding on to the Justice League shit. And they're, because look at his haircut. It's that same dorky ass haircut that they gave him, in the reshoots of Justice League. But it's,
I was going to say it looks a lot like you, Ryan.
It's a bowl cut. It's a bowl cut. And
Six Flags.
Yeah, Six Flags. But yeah, they could like Dawson, not Dawson. No, like Andre was saying.
Chill, Jacob. Chill.
Kanye.
Whoa. We've got Green Lantern. It's a multiverse, but we've already got Green Lantern, and it can't be him.
Well, what are all your thoughts on that, Chris? We threw a lot at you.
I just hope it works. I like Michael Keaton Batman. I want it to work, but I want it to be the right way. I don't want them to overstay. They're working on that, and I hope they give him some cool action scenes because it's supposed to be an experienced Batman.
Mm. And I'm really curious to see how they do with the final design of the suit, because I've been hearing things of a combination of his Batman Returns suit as well as Kingdom Come, where he's got braces and robotic stuff and mechanical things everywhere.
Jelly on it.
Jelly.
Real quick,
his early morning croissant.
Did you guys see? I don't know how much you guys watch, John Campion and shit.
No,
but he had Aaron Cummings on earlier, and she said she had they clipped it. I saw it on Twitter where you guys know who Aaron Cummings is?
Is that the sister of Alan Cummings?
Okay, I have no idea, but she was talking about that.
That was Nightcrawler.
She's involved with the Flash as far as production goes, and she said Michael Keaton's in the movie a lot.
No, I think he's going to be in it quite a bit because
I'm trying to. I've been trying to find the clip because I can't find it on Twitter. But I'm going through Campion's stream. It's from just a few hours ago. He shows all them clips from that Flash League shit. Why his shit ain't taken down?
All of it, really?
He shows a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, but I would show you guys, but I don't want us to get
don't. Don't.
But it makes me wonder too if maybe he doesn't get flagged by WB because he supports them. He's a bigger name, so they're just that's fine. Just go ahead.
Put the link in the
they're like, hey, anyone who plays the videos or pictures, take him down. What about Cam? No, leave him alone.
He knows Luke Skywalker's kid.
Yeah.
I'll put the link.
What about 3C? No, cut him.
Go to the 49-minute mark of it. Just go 49-minute mark around that, and you'll see what I'm saying. He showed everything we just talked about. He shows that shit. Right, but I'm trying to find her clip because she says some interesting things about Michael Keaton's involvement, and she said that there's so many other. She couldn't name them, obviously, but she just says.
Here we go. Wayne Stebbins got it right here. He says,
"Okay, that's."
She has a friend that's working on the movie, and she said that there are other characters showing up, which I wouldn't. Yep. I would not put that past them.
She said a bunch. She just didn't say a few. She said there's several.
Yeah. He is WB.
Probably, dude. I'm just saying. I don't know what the behind the scenes stuff has, but he pretty much put the whole.
See, I heard with just Michael Keaton in general. He has this big fear of the COVID, right? So he wanted to get his stuff done.
I think it was.
And if he wanted to just get it done, then
I think he was just Josh, and he was just messing around.
Because I believed it when I saw those things come out when he said that. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's believable because he's an elderly. He's an elder,
70 years old.
I didn't say he was elderly.
Sorry,
Dawson. Elder gentleman, but but so it's believable. But then now that I'm seeing the set, I'm like, you know what? He's jiving everybody. He's just talking shit because he's Michael Keaton. He knows.
Because really, you haven't seen much from Ben.
Yeah,
I saw a picture of him today, and that was kind of it. He was carrying a backpack, and I was like, I don't even think he's in London.
I would be shocked if Ben Affleck even suits up as Batman in this movie.
Oh, I highly doubt he does.
Well, no. If Ezra in that clip said, there's two Batmans. You know that was stupid acting. Is horrible, but he said it
That's
was
true.
bad.
That's true. That there's multiple Batmans.
He could have said there's multiple Bruce Waynes, but he said
could've.
multiple Batmans. So I would say at least Batfleck would suit up and maybe not wear the cowl. Just like he is in the Batcave, he's just walking around with, the cowl's off. He put it to the side. He's walking around. He's in garb, or maybe he takes his shirt off, and then you see Wonder Woman come in with this shawl, and she's like, "Do you need a rub down?"
Okay, no. All right, that's enough of that.
I don't ever want to see it again, ever.
Warner Brothers is going to use that shit every movie, buddy. They're like, yes, can we do that? Can we rub down Wonder Woman?
But I think this movie's going to have a lot of interesting aspects in it. We're going to see multiple characters, multiple iterations of the characters, which is going to be cool. But I think it's definitely going to establish a separate theatrical universe that they're going to. I mean, that's my opinion on it. I think that's what they're going to establish. But I really hope
I hope this movie doesn't piss me off. I really hope it doesn't piss me off.
It seems like it's already pissing you off.
Hey, I'm going to give it a chance. I'm just saying, I just hope it doesn't push all the wrong buttons.
Hey, I found it. Let's see.
Okay, here we go.
Let's see. Hold on. Make sure I play.
We've heard and talked about and followed the drama about is Michael Keaton going to be in or not? Obviously is. They're shooting this movie right now. What did you think about the images? And how much Michael Keaton do you expect that we're going to see in this thing as his old-time Batman?
I'm trying to figure out how much I can actually say.
Uh-oh.
I'm surprised that you and I didn't talk about this off camera. One of my really good friends is very highly involved in the film. And so I've known for like a year that Michael Keaton was going to be in the movie. And
Okay.
I feel like we should have talked about this, but I also have like serious memory issues though, so I don't know. He not only is he in the movie and in the movie a considerable amount, there's some really there's a lot of people in this movie.
Oh God, how have you and I not had this conversation?
Really? Enough. I was underwhelmed.
That was underwhelming.
Guys,
I thought that was gonna be.
I know a lot that's going on in this production, and there's an assistant director as well as a dolly grip, and they're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Cool.
But it's going to be cool nonetheless. I want to see it. I want to see what they do with it. Where they take the story, where they take the universe. If at the end he does take off and he goes back to his world, that would be so.
It'd be a win for everybody.
Oh, a win for everybody. Like, all right, everyone's happy now. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Unless
I think it's going to end like Aquaman, where he's.
I am the Flash.
I'm the Flash.
Can you guys like that scene in Aquaman? I didn't like that. I didn't
like it. It was.
I thought it was super cheesy.
Mermaid.
Like,
when she puts her hair back, and she's on that rock.
You talking about the end of the movie?
Yeah.
The final shot.
Fire, dude.
The
jumps out of the water.
And he's just I'm sorry, but I always think about that. It's like, if you were to take the camera and like turn it around, like who the fuck is he looking at?
Yeah, who's he looking at? It's like,
I know exactly why they.
Okay, hold on.
They were going for a money shot, but it was fire. I thought it was fire.
So you say that, but yet you're a longtime fan of Christopher Reeve's Superman, who's winking at the camera. Who's he winking at, huh?
He winks at the camera. Hell yes.
He's winking at you know,
hypocrisy.
Richard Donner.
No, it's not hypocrisy. Back then it was campy, and it was supposed to be campy. This one, hopefully,
they said they were going to be campy. During production of Aquaman, both Momoa and James Wan were on Instagram like, it's going to be super campy. We're going to let you know ahead of time. And
Hashtag Ryan doesn't know what he's talking about.
And then the season came out and it was campy, and I was like, all right,
the only thing they shouldn't have fucking put in was that stupid Pinocchio shit and the and the fucking Pitbull. Like those are the two worst
no,
decisions.
Get away.
No,
from,
the walking through Italy scene is the worst.
That's the Pinocchio scene.
Oh, the Pinocchio. She eats the flower. I was
She's
oh,
like,
God.
oh, you got it from this book? You saved us from a book? I was like, shut the fuck up and eat your flower.
Oh my God.
Damn.
Goodness.
It's stupid. It's such a dumb scene.
Hell no.
Oh, and you showed Justice League.
I know. So the other thing too is that there's another movie coming out that that my question is this going to be connected to the universe that the Flash is in with Keaton and all that? And that movie is the Suicide Squad. James Gunn's The Suicide Squad. Now, based on the trailers, Chris, are you excited for this movie?
Yeah, I am. I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like he's got a knack for these ensemble casts, and I just find myself really wanting to see like Polka Dot Man and then King Shark and all these. Why you got to put me on the screen?
I thought you were used to it.
I am.
He was all named and 3C. And, oh, wait a minute, I'm not.
I gotta put away my double chin.
I love your background though; it just looks so good.
Hey,
I thought you were about to say you love his double chin. I was like, dude, what?
Yeah, I love your double chin. He's like, well, I gotta go, guys. I'll see you later.
Like, dude, not cool.
I did disagree with like some stuff we heard about, like where we heard that Idris Elba's character shot Superman, and I don't think that in general is bad, but it's like just the fact that happened in the DC universe, but we didn't get to see it. Like, are they going to show a flashback to that or something? Because that's so cool. Getting someone shooting Superman with a kryptonite bullet. I feel like that would be an awesome little scene. They did that a lot with like David Ayer's Suicide Squad, where they had like 10-15 minutes of just like, this is what this guy did, this is what that guy did, here's his guy. So
they alluded to Superman. They alluded to Superman in the other Suicide Squad as well. He's dead. Amanda Waller kind of mentioned it or whatever, and they
showed the scene from the funeral, so you knew exactly who they were talking about.
Yeah. You knew who they were talking about, and it made sense. I mean, maybe there could be a little flashback, but I think for ambiguity services, I think that James Gunn, in his statement, like, I don't know who they're going to cast as the next Superman. I don't think he's not a part of the decision making, so he just said that. But he didn't cast Superman, so I don't think you're going to see Superman.
That's true.
So they'll allude to it, and I'm fine with him shooting Superman. I do think that Idris Elba's character was Deadshot, Will Smith's Deadshot, because of just the parallels that I've seen so far.
He was definitely that. And because he has the daughter and all that. So it was definitely supposed to be Will Smith, and they said scheduling issues, but I wouldn't be surprised if Will Smith just was like, well, people didn't love me the first time, so
it's just so sad.
It's sad. I would have look. I love Idris Elba, and I think he's gonna do a great job. But I would have preferred to see Will Smith as Deadshot in that movie, opposed to Bloodsport. Is that his name?
Bloodsport, yeah.
Yesterday I called him Bloodshot.
Bloodshot, yeah.
I've done that a lot too. I get tons of comments. I do that a lot too.
Like, who's Bloodshot? What?
Thank you.
And guys, everyone in the chat, if you have questions for 3C, go ahead and leave them in the chat, and we'll pull it up.
We might get to them.
We might get to them. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best to get to them. But no,
Ryan, you did mention something where it's like right now James Gunn isn't like a decision maker or anything like that. It feels like Warner Brothers likes his Suicide Squad because they even gave him the HBO Max spinoff and told him to make that. So it's looking like it could be a good movie, and people might like it. If they offered him to be a decision maker, how would you guys feel about that?
I'd have to see it. I'd have to see what he brings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of the same thing with how Disney was like, everybody's gonna love this next Star Wars movie. It's gonna be the greatest. We already greenlit 3 films for this guy, and it's the same shit. It's like it wasn't palatable. And so far from the trailers, this guy was a peacemaker. It's just dick and fart jokes and shit like that. And it's like I'm not. The whole thing like starfish is a butthole joke or whatever, and we were saying the other day it was like Groot is the shark, and the little weasel guy that's Rocket Raccoon, and Rick Flag is going to be probably the Star-Lord guy, and Harley is going to be Gamora. And it's sort of like he's built for this because he's fucking doing the same thing that they did in the other film. So I think it's going to be a good movie. I hope, as far as enjoyable, as far as entertainment. I think it'll be very entertaining. But I think it's going to have a lot of that sort of potty, sophomoric humor. Yeah. And I think a lot of people in this day and age are like, they're going to look past story and like cohesiveness and like a, kind of like a Zack Snyder film, which is very deep and has a lot of layers and stuff like that. We're talking about this is just on the surface. It's just it's a one-off. It's a laugh, and you don't watch it again. It doesn't have that rewatchability. Yeah. And that's when you know the movie's really good or not, is if it has rewatchability. If you're gonna fucking go and purchase the thing and say it was worth it to buy. Yeah. I just don't know if it's gonna have that staying power or if Peacemaker is gonna have that.
Yeah, I think at least for us, especially for just us here that are here on this panel, we all have the capability to like not shit on the movie before we see it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like we'll have these discussions.
I want to see it before I shit on it.
We'll say, I could say that I'm not that excited, but I will still give it the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to be like, because it is hitting HBO Max. Guess where I'm probably watching it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that aside, like I think we're all, but I don't want the movie to be straight up dismissed because it's not Snyder and it's not David Ayer. No. We're not doing that. What we're saying is like our excitement level might not be that high for it, but we're still going to watch it and we're still going to give it the benefit of the doubt because I think the movie deserves that. Is it going to be? It's going to be an episode of World's Finest, like amped to like 10. It's going to be a bunch of but no, I honestly think that it's probably going to be better than anybody expects it to be, and now. Maybe we'll find out why it warranted a show for Peacemaker. Maybe because
if it keeps following that same,
like
what, you don't like dick jokes?
Like literally every trailer has featured a joke like that, and it's just like look, I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt, kind of like what Anthony was saying, just because I'm a big DC fan, and I think James Gunn has made fun like team movies in the past. Like I really enjoyed Guardians of the Galaxy. I really do like that movie quite a bit.
Was great.
Yeah, it was a great one. It is. But the thing is, like, the thing that doesn't get me excited is the fact that they're really buying all in onto Peacemaker, and that's my least favorite character from the trailers so far. Like, I think the thing that turned me off the last trailer was when John Cena's Peacemaker like stopped the meeting. Is like, starfish is a slang term for butthole. Think there's any connection? And I literally sat there, my reaction just like. Yeah. Is this like a 13-year-old? Who is this?
Yes, he does, and I have gotten myself one. So
you got the shirt. Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah. It's awesome.
Nice.
Definitely check that out over on Inks of the People. And Dr. Fate's got a question for you. He says, 3C, Toby or Andrew? Toby seemed kind of short.
That was just like a random thing to say next. Toby seemed kind of short. I grew up on Toby, but I don't know what it is. I dig Andrew Garfield's, and I guess I feel bad for him with the way Sony kind of handled him and they pushed him out. So if they're coming into Spider-Man 3, I'm kind of more excited to see what Andrew's going to be doing in the movie.
Yeah,
me too, dude. I feel like Amazing Spider-Man 2 gets way too much hate. Way too much hate.
No, you know what? I think, and you know what? I sometimes too feel bad for Andrew because the movies aren't bad. Did I like Jamie Foxx in there? Get out of here!
No, Jamie Foxx,
get away! Get away!
Yeah, that was
Jamie Foxx is a fire actor. Get out of here with that.
Yeah,
and also Paul Giamatti. Get out
Paul
of here.
Giamatti, yes. Paul Giamatti was a terrible miscast.
Yeah, that was weird.
He was just there for the paycheck. He was like,
the freaking the Green Goblin kid. I was like, he was great in that other film where they're all flying around.
Chronicle.
Yeah, he was great in that as a villain. In this one, he was stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't like it. Even his dad.
I think
in the bed, I was like, no, sorry.
Andrew, I think he was fire as Peter Parker. Chemistry with what's her name? Fire.
Emma Stone.
Some of the best chemistry I've ever seen in a movie. Period. I think he just when those movies came out, there was the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies that were everybody loves except for 3, I guess, and then like. He came through a transitional period where a lot more superhero movies were coming out that weren't around when Toby's came out. You know what I'm saying? And it's easy to just be like, if you're talking about like the most popular comic book characters, Spider-Man is top 3 easy.
Yeah.
In the world, easy. You got Batman. You could arguably say Superman or Wonder Woman, and then there's Spider-Man is easily top 3.
Yeah.
I think it's just that he came at a certain point in time when there was other big flashy things like the Dark Knight trilogy. There was, you know what I'm saying? There was other things that people they looked past Spider-Man because you know what I mean? I saw that before. Tobey Maguire did that a few years ago, but this Dark Knight stuff or this Marvel Cinematic Universe that is popping up right now, like people saw that and it just took away from the impact of it. And I think if you could turn around and if he came out at a time when there wasn't much else out there, he would be looked upon a little bit fonder than he is now.
As a Spider-Man fan, I just feel so jaded that after the credits of Amazing Spider-Man 2 where it showed the equipment of the Sinister Six, I remember leaving the theater being like, they're going to do the Sinister Six with this. Yes. And it never happened.
They were like, we're going to reboot the whole
especially
the whole
like
thing.
Since the visual effects Amazing Spider-Man 2 are still like unbelievably amazing. I just feel like
they're good. Yeah.
Besides like the Mysterio scenes in Tom Holland's movies, I just haven't seen like his Spider-Man get like to that level of CGI.
Yeah,
like the slow motion in the air, like web slinging.
Yeah,
the ripples in the suit. Oh my gosh. I freaking love that movie. It's Amazing Spider-Man 2 is my favorite Spider-Man movie, and that's a hot take, I know, but you know what? I don't care. Because like in Amazing Spider-Man 2, like he literally has the best showcase of spider sense in any movie I've seen of Spider-Man. In Times Square, where like everything slows down and he sees what he has to do and the people he has to save. When I was in the theater watching that, I was like, that's Spidey sense to me.
Yeah, that was pretty badass. That was pretty badass. And then speaking of Spider-Man, there was an image that was put out today. This one here of the new costume for Spider-Man. And this I got this from Truth 31, who also said "Trash Holland equals trash Spider-Man costume." But that's truth. You know that's Truth 31, and that's personality. And
you
we
can
love
catch him on the 4Nerds show. We had him last week, so you can
last week.
catch him on that one.
But Chris, let me ask you, what did you think about the new suit?
All right, so I like the red and black suit before this one, the one that we got at the end of Far From Home. Like I dig that suit a lot. I think even though I do like the red and blue suit and traditional classic Spidey, I thought that was a nice little turnaround. Simple, sleek design. I'm not the biggest fan of this right here. It's a little too complex, too high tech. Yeah,
it's basically, for me, it looks like, oh, hey, this would be fire skin for the next Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And I hate being one of those people, but I also just like stop making him so technologically, I guess, dependent. I don't like that.
I prefer like the homemade look.
Yeah, the spandex
from the first Spider-Man. No, for like when he was wearing like the when he was on top of the Stark building and he was on top. Yeah, the suit that he made versus the suit that he gets from Stark. Yeah. So I prefer that.
I mean, the suit that he made looks very similar to the Scarlet Spider suit in the comics, which is a beautiful Spider-Man suit. I love that suit to death because it's like a cut-up hoodie. It's got like the web canisters in the wrist and everything. Like it's such a clean look.
Yeah, so I don't know. They do this for obviously toy purposes. They seem to work out something because every Spider-Man movie now
he buys toys that much, not as much as video games. So I'm gonna go with video games.
Video games.
Yeah.
I just
but I mean, so. As we get close to the end, I do want to stick with the MCU for a little bit because there was something that I did want to address to Chris. Chris, I apologize. On Monday on my show, I played a video. Well, you know what? Let me just. I'll tell you what. I'll just play it instead. This video was about
copyright struck.
It's not. We'll just watch this.
He recently edited the after credit scene of the last.
Have you seen this, Chris?
Yeah, I have. Go ahead. It's fine. It's fine. Go ahead.
I had no. Yeah,
no, you're fine.
Like
you're fine.
Episode of WandaVision, they added a lot of trees and removed this duck. But what people are mainly focused on is this thing coming down the hill. There's a lot of speculation, but here's proof that it's literally an editing mistake. What happened is someone noticed that this light shining through this window was distracting, so someone had to remove it. I don't know exactly what tool they used, but for this example, I'm just going to use After Effects' Content Aware Filler. I just mask out this area, roughly track it, and now it's gone. But what they forgot to do is remove it in the previous frames. Look, it perfectly lines up. That's literally all it is. I hope I clear this up before people make any dumb guesses like
That looks like Doctor Strange, or heck, it could even be Vision. Oh my god!
Who was that guy?
I don't know who that guy was.
I saw it yesterday. I was like, oh no.
It's Quicksilver, and he's running back to the cabin.
Well, I felt bad too. So I played
good.
on my show on Monday, and I was like, oh, because I started watching the video. I was like, oh, this explains it. This is perfect. And then I played the video, and I got to the edge. Like, this could be Doctor Strange. I was like,
I know that guy.
I was like, damn it.
No, you're good, man. I'm never one to get like all egotistical and be like, I'm never wrong. That was Doctor Strange or whatever like that. No, the guy who made that TikTok actually ended up messaging me, and he was like, sorry, I didn't. It was nothing personal towards you. It was just more like DC, MCU fandom in general, taking things out of context. I was like, oh, dude, it's fine. It was actually kind of funny. Yeah. So, but that was a TikTok. I'm glad I didn't make like a whole damn 8-minute video or something like that.
Can you imagine? And you're like, oh, whoops, Ralph Boner. But
you got him. You got him.
I did want to ask you about the newest show from the MCU, Loki. So, give us your take on Loki so far. On the first, 3 episodes already?
Yeah.
Now, go ahead.
I'm liking it a lot. I think it's really good. It wasn't one that I was like on my most anticipated or like really looking forward to, but now watching it, I'm like, it's one of the better made MCU shows, and I'm like, not going to compare to like Falcon or WandaVision because like those are trying to all do different things. But in terms of like pacing, because Loki has like a mystery at hand that we're trying to figure out what's going on, who's behind it. Same as WandaVision had a mystery. Where WandaVision,
they did the same thing with Captain Winter Soldier. Who's going to be the new captain?
But WandaVision waited to reveal everything to like the final episode. With like Loki, they're revealing stuff every episode with like who's the mysterious Loki, what's going on with the TVA, are the sacred timekeepers real? And I'm like, it's keeping me so on the toes. Where I'm glad they're not waiting till the final episode to reveal everything.
Yeah. I'd have to say, like, as far as MCU shows, I have to be on the flip side. I think this is the one I was the most excited for, like by far. And so far, like, it hasn't disappointed. Like, there's been a couple things in the episodes where I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure. Like, timeline, like, explanation wise, kind of weird. But other than that, it's just like, I think they've done a really great job. I think that it's just very, very interesting. And I like the fact that, I don't necessarily like the fact, because I'm more primarily a DC fan, even though I dabble in Marvel. It just shows this show is making the MCU win the multiverse battle right out the gate so far. Like, we haven't seen the Flash movie yet, so they haven't dabbled in the multiverse yet. But so far, Loki is making the MCU win the multiverse battle right now.
Actually, Michael Keaton is going to be in Loki as the Vulture, and it's gonna blow people away.
Yo, there was that came out today too.
What?
Somebody posted some pictures of some Lego sets. And
Did you not see those too, Nickatina?
I did not. Do you have them? Do any of you have those?
Do you have Twitter? Like, you pull up Twitter or whatever? I can tell you the account.
Do you have Twitter? I'm saying, do
you have it here? Like, you can pull it up on the screen.
We only communicate through Twitter, Chris. But, my mom's burner account I'm using.
We talking spoilers for the episode, or we just chill?
What?
Loki.
No, we're talking social media.
Yeah,
follow me at Zeeverfett.
But show those Lego sets if you can.
We're fine. See, look, spoiler alert.
So we just do the spoiler thing up there.
Do you have it, Anthony?
No, I was just while you guys look for it, I was going to talk about.
Okay, go talk about it, and I'll go look for it.
Here, I'll DM
Loki.
them to you.
Perfect. What do you mean? I'm talking about Loki.
Do you have an email address?
I have a fax number.
A fax.
I have a LinkedIn account.
We should fax
on my MySpace.
There we go. I think the show so far is pretty fire. That last episode was
fire.
There you go.
So what am I looking at here?
So these are Lego sets that got leaked on actual Lego website. If you go to lego.com, it's still up right now. You can pre-order this, and that's how we got our taste of the new suit because that's it in the corner.
Oh yeah.
You always have to take these with a grain of salt because you never know if it's stuff actually in the movie or
like
if it's
just concepts that made it into Lego sets.
Right. Because when the toy companies go in, they look at like concept art and maybe whatever the production has available for them to see at that stage of the game, so that they can go back and develop these these sets.
But also with that said, if you go back to like all the Far From Home Lego sets, every single Lego set did actually happen in the movie. So this could give us a good idea of what's going on. And here they're in the Sanctum Sanctorum. They have a scorpion like machine that came in and is holding Wong. That's Wong in the claw. Zendaya holding a candle. Spider-Man swinging in his new suit, and Doctor Strange fighting back. So, I mean, this lets you know that Scorpion somehow is going to appear if this concept art actually makes it into the movie.
Yeah,
and also, as you can see, there's only one Spider-Man in this package.
Yeah. Right now.
Yeah, as of right now, there's only one.
I mean, as a long-time Spider-Man fan, I always loved like fighting against Scorpion in video games. It's the fact that there's a possibility of Scorpion appearing in this movie is like, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
About dang freaking time.
And Hagrid has candles, and she's running down the.
Did you just call Zendaya Hagrid?
He's talking about Hermione. He doesn't even know the name.
Hermione.
He said Hagrid.
Hagrid's a big dude. There's another one.
You get the other one?
Oh,
which one?
The one that has Vulture on it. It's
okay. So yeah, I'll still send those to you, but we got clarified on what those were. So they're gonna use.
So there's not a TikTok video on that one.
No, not a TikTok video on that one.
Here's the other one.
I did my research first. Well, that's the front of the box. So before Scorpion comes in, you can have it like unchaotic. And if you notice, each one of them has a tool in their hands. Zendaya, Doctor Strange, even the cape of Doctor Strange has some sort of tool in their hands.
So he's holding something.
They're building.
They're building a machine, or they're taking apart that Scorpion machine. Who knows? But the other one I just sent you, Nickatina, I don't know if you can pull that up.
Yeah.
They released this one that had the Vulture with a different Spider-Man suit, but that sticker on top in gold, it says inspired by Spider-Man Homecoming. So that lets you know it's not from, they're just using the No Way Home name, but it's kind of like a celebration of like, look at the bad guys that have been going through the film. But the other box doesn't have that sticker where it says inspired by a different movie. So that's why we think that one will actually be part of the film.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
So you heard it here first. Spider-Man will have a blue bicycle.
Yeah, what the
in the movie?
Yes, you heard it here first. No, that's pretty cool though. But so as we're talking about with Loki, it's turning out to be probably one of the better ones, and I think that the character, Loki is a more established character. So there's a lot more, there's more layers to his character, and we're more familiar with the character as well. And I think that Sylvie,
spoiler thing ain't up there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Get it up there, man.
You got to put it up there,
man.
man.
Just came out yesterday.
Right up here.
Can't get sued, man.
Oh, I gotta go way up there.
There we go.
I thought she did a great job. I liked it a lot.
That's all you were say?
It's almost like you guys
she did great. Spoilers.
But okay, if we're gonna talk spoilers, when she cut off the head of the timekeeper and it was a robot,
and
not surprised.
I was not surprised because I felt like the whole Wizard of Oz thing was happening there anyway. Like something's going on. This can't be real.
Yeah.
And I thought it was interesting that they tried to negotiate with her before she did that. He's like, maybe we could work out a deal, or I forgot how he said it, but I was like, wait, what? That doesn't make any sense. And then she cut off his head and it's a robot. So
I did not expect that at all, actually.
Yes.
I was not surprised.
I was not surprised at all.
I wasn't surprised because it seemed odd.
He was.
We kind of covered that on Monday's show. So,
I was working.
If you watched Monday's show on any of the replays,
I slept.
One thing I did learn from this series is that Loki, we relies too much on his magic, sucks at fighting, gets his ass kicked all the time. Like when he can't use his powers, getting
true.
He's getting clapped. Like dude, at the end, that episode when they were having that big fight, and I thought it was gonna be cool, like the one in the Last Jedi, where like there was gonna be like a fight against the guard or whatever. It was just Loki, a little help here, like chill, bro. But and old girl was still she was fire. But that's just a small takeaway. Well, if he can't use his magic, he kind of can't fight and shit. But
and I think he kind of can't fight. All the different Lokis at the end.
Yeah,
well, I tell you what,
see who they cast for Kid Loki, who's going to be in another MCU show.
Well, when they had the scene again, spoilers here. When they had the moment where Loki gets disintegrated, basically, and what appears to be killed. At first, I thought, are they just going to make Sylvie be the Loki so that the show's not about Loki specifically, but about Loki?
Yeah.
And then post-credit came around, and I was like, okay. I was about to say, if they killed both Loki and Mobius in this episode, like that's a little much, and that gives me hope because I love Owen Wilson and I love him in this show so
I got
much.
so sad when they threw him in here.
And the jet skis.
There was a picture on Twitter. I don't know. Do you have Twitter, Andre?
No. What is that? Is that like TikTok?
Yeah, it was him. He was like, "Am I dead?" And then you saw him from Zoolander, and you saw funny. The cars, and you saw. It was pretty funny.
From other movies.
Yeah. Instead of all of them saying no, but you'll be soon if you don't come with us, just have them all say, "Wow."
Yeah.
I did not expect him to get purged, or is that not purged? Pruned.
But like when he said, "I would have loved to have a jet ski," like I was like, dude,
sad. Yeah. So what do you think? Okay, so if getting pruned, where do you think he's still alive?
I assume Mobius. Yeah, I assume he's alive. Also, what I think happens is the pruning device sends you to a place that's about to be like destroyed because they said if you stay here, you'll die. Yeah. So maybe they get sent to an apocalyptic event, and that's what supposed to kill you.
I think these other Lokis have been here a while.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like Stark Tower.
I was about to say that.
It does look like Stark Tower. Yes.
And what was I gonna say? Shit. Oh yeah. No. It just reminds me of like.
Okay, he's out of here. All right, so guys, he's slowing things down. We got to move on.
No, when they got pruned, it reminded me of that movie, The Dictator. When he's like, when he wants to have somebody execute, he's like this, and all I do is send him to the U.S.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
He left.
Man,
himself.
you booted him twice in like 2
He booted himself. He saw himself out. But he'll be back with us in just a minute. But overall, though, this scene at the end, I mean, obviously they're going to team up, right?
Quick question. Yeah. Does it look like he has on the side of the kid Loki's helmets? Does that look like was that like some Captain America little
antler? Yeah.
On the sides, not the front thing in the front that looks
those look like what's on the helmet of like Hermes.
Yeah.
So
like little wings, yeah.
See,
interesting how it's very interesting, and now I really want to see what's going to happen in this next episode. I think it's going to be really good.
So who's the other guy with the hammer?
I think it'll be maybe a version of Loki that was like the favorite son, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So he got the hammer.
That's Thor, and he's just been recast, much like they did for Superman.
Oh my gosh! Okay, here we go. All right, but no, I think Chris is a good point. Like this would have been Loki if he was like the Thor, the favorite son, and that makes sense because
that's why he's the variant.
Yeah, that's why he's the variant. And I love how the other guy, the older looking one,
that's Grant.
That's an actual costume that was in the comics as well,
like the original Loki. Yeah.
Actually, come back to me now.
There it is.
Dude, nice.
I'm so cool.
That's so cool.
Just kidding. All right, there. You can say yeah.
But real quick, Chris, I didn't want to say I like the new studio. I love what you've done. I was interested to see how it was going to turn out, but it turned out really, really good, man.
Thanks,
I know I said it earlier, but no, it's awesome.
That dragon that's up there on your top shelf, is that the one from Shang-Chi? No, Dragon Ball Z.
Bing Fang Foom.
Yeah, that's Bing Fang Foom.
Wait, hold on. Speaking of which.
Oh,
yeah.
Where are you? There you are.
Yeah.
So
spoiler alert.
Confirmed, Spider-Man's in Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
2005.
He's in the Shang-Chi universe. But no, so Loki.
Was that an Indiana Jones pop up there in the Jeep from?
Yeah. This one's rare. It's worth some money.
Well, flexing on us then.
It's worth some money.
Man, I'm legit.
It's worth some money. It's
the solo version, the one that it's just Indiana Jones, goes for $500.
What?
He was available back in like 2012 only at Disney parks, so there was only like a limited amount.
And you got one?
No, I don't. I wish.
And the Jurassic Park one, is that the same, just painted different or no?
Wait. Oh,
the Jeep, Jeep.
They actually do put some good detail on them.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Look at that.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I got some other ones. The details on these things are amazing.
Welcome to
Look, he's still going.
Sorry, I had look at this Godzilla.
Oh wow!
Wow!
Look at that.
It looks like a baby Godzilla. Look at this detail on the
Yeah, it looks like I'm looking at a Matthew Broderick movie.
Oh gosh! You gotta warn us before you do that.
Is that King Kong?
Right there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's King Kong right
there.
there.
You have Dawson's favorite Batman movie up there. You got Mr. Freeze.
Oh,
and Poison Ivy.
No,
that's his favorite Batman movie.
No.
Are you gonna set them up like you had in your last studio, like on your desk, or are they always gonna be behind you now?
Those I'm always gonna keep there because I love those Batman characters. But depending on what I'm talking about, like with Loki, I put this guy on here, and I have the Loki from Endgame here.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah,
Freddy Krueger right there. Damn, dude.
My only gripe with Funkos from Marvel,
they fall over.
Yeah, he's like, I'm killing my Lokis just like they did in the show.
No, and I understand people who don't like them. I used to hate them as well because they weren't very detailed. They all had like the same weird pose and but now I don't know what happened. They started making money and now every pop is way more detailed. So I like them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Older Loki was in Logan. X-Men crossover confirmed. What? Old Loki looks like Kermit the Frog.
Kermit the Frog here.
I know, right?
Thanks,
man. I think everybody wants. If I can speak for the hoverboard is.
Oh, dude, that's
I love that hoverboard.
Oh man, I love it.
And actually, The Purge comes out tomorrow. Chris, you're actually gonna go see The Purge tonight.
Yeah. Whenever we end the stream, I'm going to go watch the Purge.
Yeah. Everyone's like waiting for you outside. Like, is he coming or what's going on?
I just saw the first one. That was it. I was like, okay.
I'm always hit and miss on them. I like the ones with what was this guy? The name who was Crossbones in the MCU? Frank Grillo. I like those two. Others I've just been like, but this one looks kind of cool. You got some people wearing cowboy hats.
Yeah. So it's called the Forever Purge. Yeah,
the Forever Purge. So, Chris, as we kind of round things out, because I do want to get you out of here so you can go catch some movies. I don't want to keep you too late.
We don't want you anymore.
What do you think about Loki?
No, but you did get a chance to see Black Widow.
Oh yeah,
was it worth the wait?
Yeah, I get a Black Widow pop up for you.
Oh, here we go. I'm gonna blow you up now.
I'm like a damn. I'll do it.
Like a damn toy store.
Yeah, I saw Black Widow. It's one of the like more average MCU movies. I wouldn't say it's like, yeah, it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad. Like,
is it Wonder Woman 84 good?
God. Don't answer that question.
I like it slightly better than Wonder Woman 84, but like the best parts are the hand-to-hand combat. Like the combat is really good. If you like the Winter Soldier fights, you're gonna like the Black Widow fights.
Nice.
The villain in it is kind of meh, and they don't use Taskmaster to the full potential. And I think there's gonna be a lot of talks about the reveal of who Taskmaster is and even where the powers come from. I don't want to give away anything on that, but it is cool. And there's an end credit scene. Won't say what it is, but you do need to watch the Disney Plus series if you want to get the end credit scene. So they're definitely going all in on tying all this stuff together. Not like they did with like the Netflix series where they're like, yeah, they're together, but movies will talk about them and whatnot.
Well, that's why they
all the Disney Plus series or just the first ones.
I don't think it'll be a spoiler. Say just watch the Falcon and Winter Soldier one.
Spoiler.
Spoiler alert.
Well, but I'll just say that one will be the one that you'll need to see to get the end credit.
If you would have saw this film last year, would it been different than seeing it just recently?
I think it would have been different if I saw this one like maybe 4 years ago, because it feels like early MCU. and it feels like this story is a little. And not even just saying that because it takes place between Civil War and Infinity War. That's the timeline, but it also just feels like it's like there's a lot bigger things going on right now. Why are we going to this like smaller story? And like since we know Black Widow is dead in the Infinity War, I'm not always too big on going to prequels when it's like, well, I know how their story ends.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, plus we've never had a female-led superhero movie before, so it's good to have one now.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Well,
I think I got the feeling because for me,
Kalel, no.
Don't forget about her. Don't forget about her.
Who?
But
right, Captain Marvel.
Oh gosh, Anthony, continue.
The fact that
I would say I think it's better than Captain Marvel, but go ahead.
Everything's better than Captain. Well,
yes.
not everything. A lot of things are better than Captain Marvel.
No, but I think and I don't want to speak for everybody, but I'm sure we all have this feeling that like, this was that one movie that Disney was like, we're gonna hold our point and we're never gonna build streaming services and blah 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 blah. And it finally comes out, and I'm sure you're gonna walk into watching it with this frame of mind, like, so let's see this movie that was so fire that you couldn't put it on a streaming service like the rest of the studios did. Let's see this, and then that's the mentality I'm walking into it with, is that they took it and held 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 it. And then now they're just going to put it out in theaters, and you have to have like that special Disney Plus shit to like watch it.
They're like, if you like Mulan, you're going to love this.
Yeah. If you like Luca, watch out.
Hey, Luca was good.
Okay.
I'm going to watch Luca. You know,
like Little Mermaid and something else. I can't put my finger on it, but it was okay.
I want to see Luca. The problem is that my son is so picky. I went to go put it on. I'm like, hey, let's watch Luca. It's a movie. I don't want to watch that. Why? Because I just want to watch Paw Patrol. I'm like, dude, all you want to watch is he watches the same things. What, the Paw Patrol movie
with Kim Kardashian as a voice?
What?
Y'all didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that.
She's a voice in Paw Patrol movie.
Oh my gosh, what's this world coming to?
What's the world coming to? What's happening around here?
My nephew watches Paw Patrol. Get her away. I love the awkward silence.
I don't know. I was reading Ryan's comments.
Thank you so much for
in
that.
the private chat. I'm like, okay. A very good comment, Dawson. Very good comment.
I'm sure.
Very good comment.
Yeah.
Very good comment.
Thank you for commenting.
Oh, sorry. I could stay for another 5 minutes. Nickatina.
Okay.
That's
well, cool. So, real quick, we got 5 minutes left. If any of the viewers have any questions for Chris, go ahead and put it in the chat. And then, guys, as we wrap things up, do you have any more questions that you want to drop on Chris before he goes? Anybody? Brian? Anybody? Don't make this weird.
Don't make this weird.
Go.
So I guess what is your most favorite Marvel film or show to date since this pandemic has started?
Since the pandemic?
Yeah,
oh, okay. I get what you mean. So not entirely.
Yes.
You know what? Out of all of them, I think right now it's still Loki, and that's not even finished. It's just I liked WandaVision a lot, but I just felt like they didn't nail that landing, and it also tamed. I think it tamed everyone's expectations, because y'all remember when WandaVision would come out, and the whole day everyone was just, oh, WandaVision this, WandaVision that. It's like now, first 2 hours of the day is about whatever the show is, and then people don't talk about it no more. And I'm like, I felt like with WandaVision they talked about that all day.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dawson was all talking about. He had this big theory about boner, and he was actually right about the boner.
No, okay, hold on. Let me clarify this.
He called that though.
He called the boner.
You did call it.
He called it. He
didn't call boner. But
if you could be a scooper,
stop saying boner. Okay. I kept saying, as soon as Quicksilver showed up, I was very skeptical of the whole like X-Men inclusion thing. Very skeptical, because I kept on remembering that in the trailers for Far From Home, they kept on like saying like, oh, there's a multiverse, and they were like, oh, mysterious from another universe, whatever. And I was like all into that, but then when I saw it in the theaters, I laughed when what was revealed, obviously.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, Disney got me once. I'm not gonna let them get me again. If it's a multiverse, cool, but I'm not gonna let them fool me.
Mm-hmm.
And so every week I was on Nickatina's watch party of WandaVision. I was like, yeah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it yet. And then turns out
And it was the one week he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He wasn't there for the finale. And we were all like, God, as soon as it happened, I was like, God damn it.
You're glad I wasn't there, though.
I was glad you weren't there. I was like, I'm like,
he would have shoved that boner theory all over your, channel.
There we go. Okay, so real quick, you guys, as we end the show, because Chris does have to go, we're gonna do lightning round real quick. Here comes some questions. First question from Q. He says, "What does Marcellus Wallace look like?"
Marcellus Wallace.
Does he look like a bitch?
Next question.
Here we go. Chris, what is your most anticipated movie this year?
Spider-Man.
Of course.
I love the trailer. I thought it was so bloody gory. Felt like they maybe gave away too much, but I'm really excited to see this one.
Yeah, that movie does look fire. See, I can watch that shit.
No, you can watch that, but you can't watch The Conjuring.
No,
you can't watch this.
He's like, did Jason do that? Oh, here you go.
Ralph Boner. It was Ralph. He says, "Was Ralph Boner a member of the
is more directed to
Sex
Dawson.
Man?"
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, because I am the expert on this. Yes.
You're the expert on boners.
Oh my gosh! Shut up. I don't like
It makes me want to Ralph.
Gosh.
Oh my God! It makes me want to Ralph. There we go. All right, guys. Chris, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah.
As always,
No,
you're
thanks
awesome.
for having me, guys. Anytime y'all want to have me on, cool. Y'all have had some real cool people on here. I used to think I was the big guy on this channel. Then
you still are.
I've seen your guests over the months, and I'm like, damn, never gonna.
Well,
be
I mean, you keep upgrading your background, and you're gonna get your spot back on the
There you go.
It doesn't take much.
We're like, ooh. Yeah. See if he wants to come on. I gotta ask him about that Indiana Jones car.
Yeah. And then for all the viewers and people watching at home, Chris, where can they find you and all your content?
Yeah, you guys can find me at youtube.com/3cfilms or on TikTok at 3cfilms. Pure quality there, never get made fun of.
Hey guys, definitely check out Chris's channel on YouTube. I subscribe. I hit that bell notification button. He puts out content like pretty much every single day. And I'm telling you right now, out of all the content creators that I get notifications for every day, his is probably one of the only ones. There's a few, Dawson and Dick Ryan and ACS. There's a few of them that I watch, but Chris is one that I always watch because he always makes me laugh, and it's just hilarious the stuff he comes up with. And I don't know how he does it, but you're doing a great job, man. So thank you so much for coming on here.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And you're up to what now?
319K right now.
Wow, that's great, man.
Awesome though.
Yeah. If you have any extras,
research.
Yeah. I'm fine, but they need help.
Oh,
damn. The sexpert has spoken.
The sexpert has spoken. Yes, the sexpert.
What's up, Steve Gasson says, "Have a nice time with the movies, Chris."
Yeah. Enjoy your purging.
I hope it's good.
I hope it's good too. The first one was good. A lot of them I actually like, but the first one was the best one, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Agreed. Well,
awesome. And then you can always find us at I think I have a graphic for it because I know Dawson hates when we go around the horn. But there it is right there. But no underscore. You got to add the underscore for ACS.
See, I had it. He did send it to me. I downloaded it.
You know what? Yeah. You know what I'm gonna do right now? Just to piss off Dawson. Okay, let's go around the horn. Ryan, where can they find you?
You can find me at Zeeverfett on all forms of social media.
Anthony?
You can find.
Here it comes.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. All forms of social media at 279 ACS _ on Twitter at the end. So because they dislike me a lot. Where can they find you, Dawson?
And a resident boner expert.
I'm not gonna play a video. Don't worry. They'll back you out
at Boner Jams 03.
Oh my god. Boner Jams 03.
Nerdy in many ways on YouTube at NIMW32 on Twitter and Instagram, and Vero Dawson Weidrich.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
No, this was an awesome stream, guys. Thank you for real having me on anytime.
Man, pleasure. Oh,
absolutely. Have a fun time, man.
Yeah,
appreciate
you. We appreciate it.
All right, guys. Until next time. Next week we are going to have
Ray from Flightcast.
What's his name?
Ray.
Ray. I don't know why. I always want to call him Jay. I don't know why. Yes, Ray from Flycast will be on here as well. So that's going to be awesome. So definitely tune into that next week. And we'll see you guys next Thursday at 7:30 Eastern Time. Normally at 7:30. Today was at 6:30. We'll see you guys next week at 7:30 Eastern Time right here on the 4Nerds. See ya.